when the English came to India, when the Westerners came to India. And then they were not really Westerners, I don't believe in the word Westerner, but, people from the Western world came to India. Let us say the English, because when we say Anglo-Saxon, it becomes a little bit more too heavy a word to be used against a community of people. So let us say we call them English, instead of Anglo-Saxon or whatever. I think it's too heavy to use the word Anglo-Saxon. So when they were there, they were having a goal. Their goal is to understand what the hell is this guy doing. Indians, they were not doing anything. They were living. No, they go to temple or they go and get married or they do whatever they are doing. But the English want to understand what is the meaning in it. What is there in it? So the English created this, by default. They created an intellectual aspect of learning. So they were saying these books, what date, what language, what script, what year, which was before, which was after. And this became scholastic, and it replaced the organic way of life. It replaced the organic way of absorbing knowledge. It brought us to a militarized, institutional way of looking at things. Institutional can be inter-exchange between commercialization and institutionalization. With all this commercialization, institutionalization, then knowledge becomes the possession of the selected few and becomes exclusive. And so the organic nature of knowledge that we used to have in the past got wiped out. And then the institutions become like certification, like you go and say, show me your certificate. He may be a great sitar player with no certificate. But then you're not allowed to play your sitar without a certificate. Do you understand? Yeah. You're not allowed to play that. All right. Where's your certificate? So everything got a certificate. Even I want to marry a woman, I got a certificate. Everything is certified. What really went on is then knowledge became the preclusive ownership of a very limited elite. And the organic nature of knowledge, the beautiful way the child was brought up with all the knowledge, the beauty of knowledge, it was not the reserve of any institution with big certificates. It was my grandma. My grandma had the knowledge. So I could just absorb it from her. My grandpa was the pillar. He had the knowledge. So I could just absorb from him. So I didn't need any certified instruction. I didn't need to go to any institution. These institutions are barriers between humanity and the organic nature of humanity. So for me, it's like coming down, a step down. It came about with King Henry VIII with this, the guild. They had guild in Europe. You have to certify your alcohol, you have to certify your beer, you have to certify anything, you have to certify. It may have had a good intention, but anything institutionalized also has the other side. So Tantra became an object where you procure in English. Okay, the simple word is acquire. The very simple word is you get it. So these linguistic skills that they pride on, they don't have. What the hell I have, they don't have. I don't go to the institution to get these skills. This certification has become a preoccupation of India too. Forget about the West. Today, India is all about certification, They're talking about yoga, some school, some institution of yoga they created, I forgot. Then the institution of education, institution, all certified, all the gurus are with certificate. So what we get is not really the authentic teachings anymore. Because you have to grow up authentically to pass down an authentic system. If you are just institutionalizing everything, then you pass down institutions. So institutions of yoga, institutions of Tantra.
In the East, both China and India had always emphasized on memorizing their whole text. It's a very good stimulation to enhance your memory skill. They culture it from childhood. Knowledge becomes an experience that leads to self-realization. The self-realization is very essential. Otherwise, one only have whimsical experiences limited by the sense organs. This limited experience of the sense organs doesn't allow for more than what we touch and feel. In these ancient education systems, they understood the limitations of the sense organs. So they culture us to go beyond these limited experiences. Even to modern science, memory has to be stimulated. Otherwise, it doesn't develop. In the institutional way to learn, memory is given very less prominence. The other essential factor is to learn to articulate. In articulation, we find skills of perfect communication. It is very important to communicate effectively in life. Efficient communication means success in life and transmission of knowledge. All these are compromised in today's hurried and stressed environment. In fact, a bigger portion of stress comes from simply hurrying and not knowing what to do. Effective communication drops the inefficiency in communication. This means the perfect employment of the nervous system, which solves half the problems of meditation. If your mind is running all over the world, it is stressful. If your mind is efficient, you're almost in meditation. So it's a very important thing to learn correctly. Learning for the ancients was a way to transform from the unnecessary to the necessary. This leads to spiritual perfection, which is, in layman's term, enlightenment. Learning a tradition and learning traditionally therefore leads to masterhood. Masterhood gives you a complete realization of your own potential. Institutionalization and certification give you only a ticket to survivalhood. The late famous actor Bruce Lee, in a TV interview, when asked about his authority, said, "I don't have a loose pants to wear a black belt." And when asked, "And what about a certificate?" he said, "I use it up in the toilet."